All right. Uh, what we have discussed in the last class, it's all about the DTU based model. Okay. In DTU based model, we have three types of DTU based models. We have basic, standard, and premium. All right. So what is a DTU? DTU stands for database transaction net, which is nothing but the combination of the CPU, memory, and IOPS. Correct. So each one will have its own, or each one have its limitations, right? So when it go with the basic model, where you can utilize uh, until the 5 DTUs, and you can go with max of 2 GB. Correct. So when it comes to the standard and premium models, in standard model, so where you can utilize up to, up to 3000 DTUs, and with the storage of 1 TB storage. Correct. 3000 DTUs and with the 1 TB storage. When it comes to the premium, you can have the 4 TB storage until 4000 DTUs. Correct. So these are some limitations, and I have already shown you how we can create the DTU based model yesterday. Okay. In order to the same discussion, let me try to create one more DTU based model, and we'll explore the other couple of options. All right. Okay. Yeah, let's see. So how are we going to create so whatever the resources that I have created yesterday, so post the class, I will vanish everything. Okay. Let me go with the fresh again. SQL servers, create SQL server. All right. So resource group, let me create a resource group name as prod. I am creating in India. I'm using the SQL based authentication. So networking, I'm just going with the basic networking. Just click on S, additional settings, tags, just go with the default. Basic setting, something got failed. Okay, server name. Server name should be unique. Okay, so if someone is already using the server name, you cannot utilize the same server name, and the name should be lower characters. All right. Great. So when you create actually when you create a SQL server, so no charges will be applied. Okay. So what is the reason behind it? So when you create a SQL server, there is no use at all. Correct. So what will you do with the blank SQL server? You cannot do anything. Correct. So the reason why, so Microsoft will not charge anything from you if you create a blank SQL server. All right. You have to wait for a couple of minutes to get the service created in the Azure. The service got created. Let me go to the resource. Okay. And it does not have associated with any database. Okay. So in order to create a new database, just click on the create database. Here you have to give the database name. So let me give the database name as test, and you have to choose the compute plus storage. I'm just going with the, yesterday we have seen the DTU based. Let me go ahead with the vCore based model. Okay. So what is vCore means? Virtual core. In virtual core model, we have mainly three types of vCore models: general purpose, hyperscale, and business critical. So general purpose is, it is most budget friendly serverless compute. Okay, it is a serverless compute. So when you use a general compute, so you have the two types of general purpose compute. What is this? I will tell you. So just try to understand what is hyperscale. So what is this hyperscale? Let's try to observe. So in hyperscale model, you can utilize the uh, the configurations. Let's try to observe the configurations. Okay. So in standard model, where you will get maximum of 80 vcores and max memory, you can utilize up to 415 GB. That is a maximum memory you can utilize it. So and you will get the bill of 17250 INR per vcore. Correct. So if I utilize it this setup, so what is the amount that I'm going to get it? Almost you will get the this much, roughly 34,500 rupees. All right. Okay. So hyperscale or business critical. So when you have to use hyperscale, when you have to use, when highly scalable compute and storage. So when you want to use it for like your business is like highly scalable, you want to upgrade your server, okay, or you want to go with the upgradations, all this stuff, what you can do, you can use the hyperscale model. And also they have given some instruction. Let's try to read it. So database is originally created in hyperscale tier cannot be changed to other tiers. So strictly they have given a instruction that, so if you select a your database tier as hyperscale model, so then you cannot change from one tier to another tier. From if I select a general purpose, you can later, you can, if you want, you can move to another tier, like you can go to hyperscale or business critical. So when you choose especially hyperscale model, so you cannot go ahead and move to the any other tier, that is not possible. All right, that is one condition you have to keep it in mind. All right, so let's see now. Let me go with the general purpose. All right, so in general purpose you have two types of general purpose. What is provisioned, what is serverless? So what is provisioned exactly? In provision model, compute resources are allocated build per hour based on the vcore configuration. So what they are trying to tell you, so when you use a provision model, okay, so where you will get a the compute resources are allocated to you, and you will get a hourly based bill. Correct. All right, let's see what is serverless configuration. Okay, so what is the serverless configuration exactly? Let me explain to you in such a way that I'm running a business, okay, so which is a supermarket related business. All right, so my supermarket is, how the supermarket will function. It's a supermarket related business. Okay. All right. So mostly how my business would be. Okay. So I will run my business from 9 a.m. to uh, 10 p.m. max, right? Okay. I cannot run my supermarket related business or any textiles related business or any uh, what we can say hotel related business. Okay. So what we can do, so we cannot run it for 24/7, correct? So only like from morning 9 a.m. to evening 10 p.m. you can run the business. So what is happening? This is my database server. Okay, this is my database server. So what happened? So from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. I can utilize the uh, or the database will utilize the course. So there is a gap, right? From 10 p.m. to from 10 p.m. to p.m. to morning 9 a.m. my name, the system will be idle, correct? The system will be idle. There is no use, correct? So when the business is not running or when the transactions are not happening, so you don't enter any transactions into the database, correct? So the reason why what will happen, your database will remain constant. All right. So what will happen in the serverless model? So compute resources are auto scaled, build per second based on the V course used. So what exactly it is? It means that so I can put the max V course, like I can put it for, let's observe, uh, my business is it's a very huge business. I can run with 8 V course. That is fine for me. And min V course. What is this min V course? Whenever my business is not there, okay, this is my idle time. In this idle time, so I can run my database server with 1 V core, correct? So 1 V core. So the reason why what will happen during this time, I will get a bill for only 1 V core. All right, 1 V core. Okay. During my business hours, I can utilize 8 V cores. All right, 8 V cores. Now you have a question that so how my system can understand when is my idle hours or when is my um, these hours. Okay, when I have to uh, give this idle time or something. Okay, so there is an option auto pass delay. Okay, enable auto pass delay. What exactly it will do? So minimum is 1 hour. Okay, minimum is 1 hour. You cannot put more than less than 1 hour. Okay, so if your system is idle for 1 hour and nothing, no new transactions are coming to the database, so then what will happen? It will go into the auto pass delay mode, right? So in auto pass delay model, what will happen? It will run with the minimum V course whatever I have given to the my database server. You can give like how much you want. Okay, it is not something that only you have to run with one VCP or one V core or something. You can run it with according to your requirement. Max you can go ahead until 8 V cores also. But if you run with 8 V cores, there is no use at all, correct? So you can minimize as many as possible. Okay, all right. So uh, then once the requests are coming and hitting to the database, then what will happen? It will automatically it will allocate the 8 V cores to the your database server. All right. So when no requests are coming and the system is idle for 1 hour, so then it will go into the auto pass model with 1 V core. All right. This is a big advantage to the business who are running something like this, like supermarkets or any kind of schools, organizations, colleges. Okay, those kind of database servers, if they want to keep it not in 24/7. So it is very useful for them. All right. Any questions? What is the meaning of serverless, or what is meaning of provisioned? So each one will have the serverless and provisioned. All right. So when it comes to the business critical, there is no serverless or server provision. Only you have the business critical. So in business critical, you can go until 128 vCores and the maximum storage of 625 gigabytes. Okay, so you can go ahead until see enough 128 vCores, and this is memory 625 gigabytes memory, and data size you can go until 4 TB. All right, 4 TB you can go with the maximum size. All right, so now you understand, right, basically what is a vCore model and what is the uh, DTU based model. This is very, very important, guys. In interviews, you will get a question that what is a DTU model and what is vCore model. So what is the major difference between vCore model and DTU model? Okay. So in vCore model, what will happen? You can exponentially, you can increase the resources or you can decrease the resources. That is possible. All right. You can exponentially, you can increase it. vCores, how many vCores you want. Okay. Those have the you can have that feasibility. When it comes to the DTU model, you cannot increase the RAM or memory or your CPU. You cannot do it. All right. Okay. If you want, you can do the configurations as well. So let me go ahead and create in the DTU model basic. So why? For the practice purpose, it is more than enough. All right. So I'm just trying to create a database called test database. Great. My database is in deployment mode. So where you can see what is the progress of it from the notification bar. All right. So once it is deployed, we will see what are the couple of options that are available to the database. All right. Okay. So my database is available now. Okay. This is my database, that is test database. All right. So now in overview, what you can see the list of options, or what is the overview of the database. You can see the overview of the database where you can see the server name, okay, and what is the subscription, what is the pricing tier that your database is belongs to. All right. So then there is a activity log. So what is this activity log? So what is this activity log? So what it will tell you that what is exactly the thing is happening to the SQL. One second, guys. Okay. So it will give you uh, the list of actions that I have performed on the database. All right. So tags are something that which is useful to do the building part. We'll discuss this part later. Okay. So what is this diagnose and problems? So these diagnose and problems, suppose if I have encountered any problem with the my test database, so probably what I can do, I can raise a case to the Microsoft, correct? So how we can do it? Uh, so you can diagnose and you can resolve the problems, correct? So what exactly you are facing? Suppose if you have encountered a connectivity issue, so then you can use the troubleshoot option. And if you have a, when you are trying to create or drop resources, you can use this one. Data sync and change data capture, email notifications, maintenance, migration and move. For different things, you have a different articles. So just try to click on it. It will take you to the some articles, guys. Choose option, automatic backups. See now. So it will give you the information basically about the problems, correct? Let me go with the next one. So getting started. So what is this getting started? So if you want to anything that you want to uh, if you want to configure, okay. So if you want to configure the networking or something where you can utilize the quick start option. All right. So quick start is something that so where you can get the some information. Okay, getting started. All right. So if you want to uh, suppose if you want to connect to application, see the connection string. So where you can get the connection strings, you can also view from the connection string as well. All right. So what is connection string exactly? So connection string is something that where uh, where the application team wants to connect to the database server or database. So what type of application they are using? Based on that, you have to give the connection string. All right. So if your application is it's a .NET related application, then what you have to do? This is the connection string for .NET applications. So if it is related to the Java, then you have to use the Java JDBC connections. If it is a Oracle client, so then probably you have to use ODBC and PHP and Go. Go is a Google language. So when you want to connect your database with Golang, so then probably you can use this connection string. All right, these connection strings are very important. So in order to connect the database from any application. All right. So then when it comes to the compute plus storage, where you can see what kind of the compute model that your databases belongs to. All right. And apart from that, it will also show you the estimated cost. What is the estimated cost that you have with the current setup. All right. So then there is a one important, that is properties. So in properties, if you want to see what is the collation of your database from the property screen, you can identify the collation. All right, and server name and a few of the other important components like what is your server admin login, okay, and what is your subscription ID and what is the subscription name and resource ID. These are it will have some information. Then when it comes to the logs, so these logs are very important, guys. So what is log exactly? What is log exactly? So this log will prevent you from the uh, unexpected delete events. All right. One second, guys. So Venkat Gannavarapu, can you ping to Shanmugh, please, once? I think he has already passed a number. Venkat.
Hello.
Venkat, can you ping to Shanmugh once again? He is just
Okay,
asked.
Vishal.
Yeah.
Okay, Vishal.
Yeah. All right. So what is this log exactly? So it will prevent you from the uh, deletes. Okay. So what is exactly it will do? Uh, let me by creating a lock, I will try to explain to you. So delete lock, I'm trying to click delete lock. Okay. So don't delete my database. Okay. Okay. This is my lock. So I have applied a delete lock on the database. So now what will happen if I go and try to delete this database? Okay. Database delete. Warning. So it has given some warning. Test is irreversible. The action you are about to take can't be undone. Going further will delete it terms in permanently. Click on yes. Test. Okay. Enter test. Click on delete. So it won't get deleted, guys. What is the reason? Because I have put a delete lock. Okay. Failed to delete the database. Test error code, error message. So what is the error code and error message? Let me try to delete once again. It will clearly tell you that there is a delete lock applied on the thing. Okay. Okay. So why it is not getting deleted? Because of the there is a lock applied on the database. All right. There is a lock applied on the database. One second, guys. Why the database test is not getting deleted? there is a lock applied on the database. All right. So let me go back to the databases and let me try to release the lock so that I can able to I can able to I can able to if I delete this lock, then I can able to delete the database now. Okay, if you want, I can quickly try it. Let it be by end of the class. I can do it by deleting the database and all. Okay. So then there is a concept called replicas sync to other databases. These and all I will discuss. It is a separate topic, guys. Okay, I will discuss this part later. So now, uh, alerts metrics, these and all. Okay, let's see about the auditing. So what is auditing exactly? What is auditing exactly? So if you perform, okay, if you perform any operations like insert, delete, update operations on the database, if you want to capture those informations, okay, you have the option called auditing. All right. So enable SQL Server auditing. So when you enable it, so you need a storage account to enable the logs. So you have to select the storage account and you have to create the storage account. I don't have any storage account associated now. Let me create a storage account called auditing storage account. Auditing underscore storage account. Okay. Okay. Auditing storage account. Storage account one. This name also should be unique. Why? Because it is existing with core.windows.net. Okay. So when you create a database or when you create a SQL server in the Azure, so how the naming convention it will come your server name dot database dot windows.net, correct? So for the same thing, your Azure account, your storage account also will come with core.windows.net. Core.windows.net. All right. So it should be unique, guys. If someone is using this storage account already, so it will give a error that the storage account name is already taken. Okay, you cannot use it. So the reason why I have used a auditing storage account one. All right. So account kind, what kind of account that you want to use? Storage account, general purpose one or general purpose two. So general purpose two is nothing but it's a kind of more storage you will get it. I'm sufficient with the general purpose one. Okay, you want to go with the standard or premium? Premium I don't want. So standard is fine for me. So premium standard, what is the difference? Premium means you will get the more features and the cost is also very high. Okay, so I don't want any replication. Just go with the local redundant, click on create. So now it is into validating state. Once the validation is done, then it will go with the IST. So yeah, deployment is success now. So then what I have to do now from the drop down, I have to choose a storage account. Still it won't come. Why? So whatever the service that you have created, it will take some time to affect in the Azure. So let me what I can do, let me go back to the storage account. Let me try to refresh the screen again. Yeah, see now it got picked. Okay, you have to do refresh for a couple of times. See now. Okay, so now what I have done by using a storage account, I um, have used the auditing. Okay, click on save. Click on OK. So now let me try to uh, run some commands on the database. So meanwhile, what I can do, SQL servers, let me connect with my local SSMS. I have a local SSMS, which is to connect. And I'm using a it won't connect. What is the reason? I haven't allowed for the public access, right? So how are we gonna allow? Just go to the networking, your SQL server networking, and you have to add the IP address of your client. So this is my client. So how will you check what is your public IP? So just go to the any um, any search engine and type what's my IP. Okay, this IP will change. All right. So yesterday I have seen some different IP. Now because of restarting of my system, so now it got changed to the different IP address. All right. So now let me try to save the IP now. So after I save to my IP address, so that I can able to connect to my Azure SQL server. All right. So now I'm able to see the database. This is test database, new query. Let me create a database. Create database, database name, sorry, create table. Okay. EMP as employee number, integer, employee name as varchar of 10, and have to choose the right database. Okay, so now my command is completed. So what is the difference in the Azure DB model? I have told couple of options, right? So first option is let's discuss this part, and later I will go with the auditing. I will show you how this will be audited. All right. So in Azure DB model, you cannot do the cross query. So what is nothing but cross query? So let's observe. So if I instruct to my SQL, use test and create a table called emp2 or something. So it will straight away, it will give me the error. Sorry, use master. See now, use statement is not supported to switch between databases. Use a new connection to connect to a different database. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to write the cross queries. Okay, so I'm instructing to my my SQL that can you switch my database from one database to another database? Sorry, it is not possible. Okay, so what you have to do, always you have to choose it from the drop down, and you can run the queries. So in normal SQL Server, what you can do, how we can do it. You can suppose I have a couple of databases in on-premise. Let me try to connect it. So maybe it is into stop state. So the reason why it is not connecting. Let me try to start the services. Okay, it has connected. If I take a new query for my on-premise database, so let's try to observe. So now I am connected to master database. If I use and instruct to my test one, I can instruct, correct? Use test one and try to create a table called emp2. It will execute, right? It will switch my database from master to the test database and it will try to execute the queries. But here in Azure DB model, so you cannot use this cross query. All right. So and when it comes to the on-premise, it must should exist in the Windows Server. So now here in Azure DB model, show me now where is my Windows Server? Where is my Windows Server? Have you found Windows Server anywhere? Have you created Windows Server anywhere? No, right? Directly I have created a SQL Server. On top of that, I have created a database. That's it. So this is a very big advantage in Azure DB model where you no need to maintain the or you no need to worry about the your Windows, correct? All right. And also there is one more important, that is it doesn't have the SQL Server agent. Okay, your Azure DB model does not have the agent. Show me now where is my agent? Okay, now you get a question that, so how can I run my jobs without having the SQL agent? That is a big question for everyone. All right. So then there is a separate solution called SQL Elastic Agent Jobs. Okay, by using SQL Elastic Agent Jobs, we can run the jobs for all the SQL, the Azure DBs. Okay, that is separate topic. I will discuss later. Now just try to concentrate. So what is the meaning of cross query? So you cannot switch between the one database to another database. Sometimes you cannot use go also. So when you instruct go and do something also, it will give some error. Okay, go and insert or something, it will give the error clearly stating that the Azure DB model, it won't support the cross query and all. Okay, so you cannot write uh, the joins also. So you cannot write between two databases, you cannot write the join also. So why we cannot write it? Because in Azure DB model, each database is a independent database, correct? So each database is associated it's with own resources. Like whether you can one database you can create in DTU model and one database you can create in uh, vCore model and one database you can have into the DTU basic DTU, like this. Each database have its own resources, correct? So even though still there are existed in a single server, but Each database is a independent database. We can say it's a isolated databases. Isolated means they are not connected each other. They are separated. Correct? All right. So now we are in the topic of auditing, right? So SQL database auditing. So what is auditing means? So any actions that you are performed on the database, it will capture into your auditing. So when you enable the auditing, I have already enabled the auditing. Let me view the audit logs. It has to capture it, right? So I have used a create command. So it will take some time to open the events. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. So meanwhile, let me try to do the other operations like insert updates, insert into EMP. What is the table name that my database containing? EMP. All right. Insert into EMP values of EMP number. Let me put it as 1 and employee name as John. Execute. Update EMP set EMP number equal to 2 where EMP number equal to 1. So it is taking some time. So it will show you clearly, guys. So it is taking some time to get the data. To fetch the data, it will take some time. So I will show you later. Just you have to wait for. It is taking longer than expected. This is my storage account. It is okay. SQL servers. Inside the SQL Server databases, inside the databases, I have enabled the auditing. Just security auditing. So let me view the logs. Filter. It has to show, but it is taking time. Let it be. I will show you later also. Okay. All right. So let me go with the other couple of options in the database. Database auditing we have seen, and dynamic data masking. So what is this dynamic data masking? Okay. So what is this exactly? You can put your masking rules, correct? So circular from masking. So you can have the masking, add masking. So what do you want to mask? You want to mask any column or database or any table, any schema that you want to, inside the schema, what do you want to EMP and EMP, what is the column that you want to mask? You can use the masking, guys. Okay. So now what will happen? So when you uh, add any users that you want to exclude from the masking. So now see, let's try to, if I run the select statement, EMP, EMP number, I will get the masking because I am admin. Okay. So the reason why, let me save the data. So if any users, if I created, they cannot see the EMP number column. Okay. So why? I have used a masking column, correct? All right. So if I create any user and if I try to, uh, let me create a user. Basically, it is also same in, uh, it is also same in the on-premise model as well. Okay. So I'm just trying to create a user. Let me create a user, new user. Username is test. Test. Default schema is DBA. So let me give some password. Okay. I have created a login with user, and let me grant the DB owner, not the DB owner, DB data reader. DB data reader execute. Okay. All right. So now I'm belongs to the data reader. What is the one test? All right. Let me try to connect. This is not okay. So what you have to do? What are the options? I have to use a test because I will tell you, because each database is a here. Each database is a content database. So you cannot access other than the database which you have granted the access. So that I cannot connect to master database. So I will tell you that part later. It will come into the security. So now try to understand what is dynamic data masking. So I have masked the one of the user. So now So I don't want to exclude this. I generally the administrator sir will be excluded from the masking. So now if this user run the same command like select star from EMP. So let's see, he will get the masking data. See enough? Employee number it is generally if I run the same command from my administrator, okay. So what I'm going to get, I will get the employee number as 2, right? Just observe the data. Sorry. Employee number as 2. Here, the employee number is masked, correct? With 0. All right. So if I put or if I update my data employee number as a big number, then you will understand much better. It will by default with 0 zeros or something, it will put the number. Okay. So what I will do, let me update employee number as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Where employee number equal to 2. All right. Understand. Okay. Now try to fetch the data from admin. This is my admin account. So now fetch the data. I can able to see the employee number as 1, 2, 3, 4. But if I'm running from the user who is having only the read access and I have applied the dynamic data masking on the employee number column. So now he will able to see the from where sorry sysadmin I am not supposed to run, right? From the test if I run it, see enough, still he will able to see the employee number as 0 only. Okay, that's how the masking will help out. Okay, so when there is suppose if you have a credit card data into the database, so those times what generally credit card data or your personal data or your any other card numbers, this kind of data is there in any table. So for that particular the columns, you can apply the dynamic data masking so that so whoever can run the select statement, still they cannot able to see the data. So only they can see employee number as 0 only because only admin can see the data. So see now what it is telling. SQL users are excluded from the masking. Administrators are always excluded. I am the admin, sysadmin. So this one is always excluded. If I exclude test, let's observe. Now he will able to see the data. Sorry, what is the username? Test only, right? Test to save. Correct. I have to save it, right? Now let's try to observe it. See enough. I am able to see the employee number as 1, 2, 3 test because I have excluded this from for this user. All right. For this user. This is how the dynamic data masking will be useful. Okay. These data discovery and classifications. You can use it like what kind of SQL information that you want to put it, or you can put the some labels on the data. Yes, that is applied. You can use it. Okay. Generally, no one will not use all this stuff. Correct. So dynamic data masking, like very few they can use it. Right. So if you don't want, then you can discard. Okay. If you don't want, you can discard the changes. All right. That is very important, guys. So how we can use the dynamic data masking and what is the few other options. I have already shown you. So resource health, what is this resource health basically for the database? So it will tell you that what is exactly the status of your database, correct? Suppose if you have any resource health alert, so suppose you can keep it. Okay, you can keep a events. Suppose in progress as resolved, you can have the event status. Let me keep it as in progress. Okay, let it be available or unknown. Recent type, platform initiated or actions. What action that you want to? So pay as you go, and you can have a create a action group. So from the action group, what you can do basically, so what exactly this alert rule is? So something happened to my database. Okay, if something happened to my database, I can create my own rule to get the resource health status. All right, so you can utilize it if you want. Okay, this is also chargeable, guys. So to get the alerts or to get the notifications to your email ID, that will also chargeable from the Microsoft. All right, so when it is a mandatory or when you feel that want to get the notifications if something happened to your database, yes, always it is possible to get the resource type what you want to see. Okay, so database, SQL database. All right, and resource type, what do you want to exactly for master or all? If you want to put it for only master or you want to put it for all the databases, all selected. Next condition. So what do you want to see the condition? So if it is, if my database is in the resolved state or updated, so then I have to get the notifications, correct? So next actions, what do you want to see? Create action group or next details, tags. So you want to give the alert rule. So database health is not good. Okay, click on tags, review, create. Okay, see now. So based on the options whatever you have selected in the condition, so you will get the alert. Okay, so these alerts you can get it to your email. All right, so I have created my own alert. All right, yeah. So anyone having any questions so far, please you can ask me. Okay, if nothing, then probably we can catch you tomorrow. All right, okay, thank you all. Thank you for your time. Happy learning. We'll catch you tomorrow same time.